If you've been waiting for a sign, maybe a green light, a little bit of a nudge, or someone to say, hey, you're allowed to do that, this is the episode you need. Because somewhere along the line, a lot of us became experts in giving everybody else permission, except ourselves. Today, we're going to change that. Hi, I'm Jamie, and this is Second Act Simplified. This show is for women in midlife who want clarity, confidence, and a next chapter that feels like their own. Here, we keep it real. There's no pressure, no perfection. Just honest conversations that help you build the life on who you are now, not who you were 20 years ago. Last week, we talked about 3 seasons women move through in midlife, and those are growth, grounding, and rebuilding. Here's something across all 3. Every season requires permission. You might need permission to shift or permission to slow down, maybe permission to try something new, or honestly, permission to walk away. It's okay to have permission to want more or permission to want less. But most of us don't give ourselves that permission. We wait for something magical to happen, this time out in the future that's never going to come. We're going to talk about why we need to stop waiting for approval, waiting for this magical moment to appear that's never going to happen. Let's be honest, women don't wake up at 45 suddenly needing permission. This has started early. We're taught to be agreeable, helpful, responsible, predictable, definitely taught to be easy to work with, easy to live with. We have to read the room. We learn to manage other people's reactions. We learn to make people comfortable, not uncomfortable. By the time we're in our 40s, we've carried decades of conditioning. You can be strong, capable, and confident and still wait for permission to change your life. That's the funny part. But I've been always known as strong-willed. There are times where I'm like, oh, nope, this isn't the right time, or this needs to wait. What am I waiting for? These can show up in other subtle ways. I need to make sure no one is upset if I take this step. What will people think? This one, that does come to me quite a bit. Like, what will people think? What if somebody sees this? Isn't that kind of the point? Maybe this isn't the right time. I don't want to disrupt anyone else. Who am I to be doing this? We're not waiting for literal permission. We're waiting for emotional safety, but you're really never going to get it. There's never going to be a good time. There's never going to be a safe time. There's never going to be a perfect time or a time where somebody won't judge you or somebody won't leave a nasty comment. It's part of life. Don't wait for approval. Do it on your terms, not somebody else's terms. This is where things get real, though. Women often wait for permission to change their goals, because the old ones used to get applause and they made sense to everybody else. They were stable. Everybody knew it was coming. But now that's not what you want anymore. The second one is slow down or take a break. We've been the reliable one for too long. 3, start a new interest, business, hobby, or project. It feels indulgent to do something because it just matters to me. Nobody else cares about this, so it's self-indulgent. Another one is redefining success, because the version that you had years ago isn't the same version that's important to you now. The hardest one, in my opinion anyway, is walking away from the roles you've outgrown. Even when things have become completely draining and you want out of something, sometimes we just stick with it. I'm not telling people to go get divorced or anything like that. I'm actually thinking about that more from a career perspective. We want more clarity, freedom, autonomy. And wanting those things, we've been told, is really selfish. Honor the season you're in, even when your body and mind might be begging for something different. If you're agreeing with me, it's because many of us reach a point where our inner voice is starting to yell at us. But we hear and we feel this hesitation. What happens if you give in? This is the turning point. Everything starts to shift when you're like, I don't need to listen to everybody else. I don't need judges. I don't need a committee. I don't need somebody to sign off. Once you make that decision, things start happening faster. Indecision isn't a lack of clarity. It's a lack of permission to yourself. Once you start making that change, your energy increases. You stop wasting energy into things that you shouldn't have been dealing with anyway. You stop over-explaining. Not everything needs justified. You don't need to justify, I feel like doing this now. Or I'm looking into this creative outlet now. I want to do something new. You don't justify it. Stop apologizing for the life that you want and just build it. Start honoring your actual season. If that's growth, take bold steps. If you're in grounding, you need to simplify. And if you're rebuilding, rest and reset. If you want to hear more about that, listen to the previous episode. Remember who you are. Not the version people want you to be or expect you to be, the version that you are now. I believe this is where women become unstoppable because they start listening to their true self. Here's 3 places you need permission right now, and let's make it practical. The first one, you need the ability to change your mind. You're allowed to outgrow the dreams that once made sense to you. You're allowed to want something new, and you don't have to justify why. The second one is choose your energy over expectations. Don't follow the pace that you see people taking online, or they lead you to believe that they're taking online, or a pace that somebody at home is telling you to take. Take the pace that makes sense to you so you don't burn out. You can slow down if that's what you need. You can rest. You can say no. And the third one is to want more for your second act. We've devoted tons of our time to helping others. You're allowed to want more meaning, more freedom, and more alignment. It doesn't mean you're ungrateful. It just means that you're not done growing. That's a wonderful thing, to continue to grow and learn and evolve in life. This episode sits right at the heart of what I've been working on. Women in a rebuilding season need permission to rest and recover. Women in a grounding season need permission to simplify and stabilize. And women in a growth season need permission to expand and take actions. My Second Act Pathfinder helps women identify where they are and exactly what they need. It removes the guessing and it replaces hesitation with clarity. If it's something that interests you, I'll have that in the show notes, and it's free. And it'll help you build the confidence you need to refine your goals and take the next steps. If today's episode made something inside you feel aligned, or maybe even a sigh of relief, that's your sign. You don't need approval to change your mind. You don't need permission to shift your goals, and you don't need to validate the season you're in. You get to choose the life that fits you. If you want support on getting clear direction this season and mapping out your next step, download my Second Act Pathfinder. It's the perfect starting point for your pivot or your reinvention or your next chapter, whatever you want to call it. Make sure to subscribe and share this episode with a friend who's been waiting for her own green light too. I'll see you next week.